Okay, so your idea was sort of like something we saw on Twitter, which was go back in time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's the data that basically we saw on Twitter from 1919 to the present. So what do you see here? And then having seen that, let's do something more than what we just saw. So tell me what you see here.
Well, again, you can see the fluctuations are pretty regular, and it's like you can't really see the fluctuation we were looking at. So, like you wouldn't be able to look at this and see there's a fluctuation here. Really, I mean, you can tell it's kind of going down, but it's gone down much more than that in the past.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know whatever our green data is. It only starts.
Yeah, so the green data is sort of newer. All right, so having seen this data, what would you want to look at?
I don't remember. Is there a way to look at like highs and lows?
No. Well, this is the data based on time. So what dates would you want to look at?
Maybe we could look at like. Let's look at this big fluctuation. Maybe we can look at like between like 1970 and 2000.
All right, so we'll zoom in on that if we can. So 1970, first kind of an initial zoom in, and then we'll see if we can. All right.
So this looks like it's right around 1980, like basically the last day in 1984.
Okay.
So our big drop is. I don't really know what that means or why it's there specifically.
Okay. Well, what was the magnitude that we were getting down to now?
So right now we're at about 1.5.
Okay. So now the I don't say the concern. The people were noticing this because the magnitude had dipped to 1.5. So let's just look at this time period, which is now 1970 to 1990. To 2000. So this is 30 years from 1970 to 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like, I mean, pretty regularly, at least like from 1977 to 1984, you're pretty regularly seeing 1.5 and below.
Okay.
So I mean, maybe, and then, I mean, if you saw 1.5, like, probably, like, in this range here, you'd probably notice it like we're noticing it now, but if you saw it in this range, you wouldn't really think much of it.
Okay, you want to zoom in on that range?
The like 1977 to 1985.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, so let's see what was going on from 1977 to 1985. Oh, sorry about that. Straight click, 1977 to 1985.
Mm-hmm. So
there's our big one down there.
All right, yeah, it almost got to magnitude 2 there, at least on one observation.
So it looks like our observers here are, I mean, I don't really... It looks like it's staying... Like, there are a bunch of these bars, and I don't really know what to make of the... Like, there's just bars.
Well, it's probably just what they recorded it at.
Yeah, so... Right, it looks like they record to point 1,
Yeah.
so that no one ever reports a magnitude, apparently, of 0.25. It's either 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. So yeah, it's an interesting question. Do you think Betelgeuse has its magnitude really fluctuating wildly like this, or do you think that the observations just have a lot of noise in them?
I think the observations have a good bit of noise because, let's see, on this line here we have an observation of 0, and we have like all the way down to 0.8.
Mm-hmm.
From place to place, there's a lot of variance.
Like, I mean, even when we saw that almost 2 here, we were seeing an observation of 0.4 and like a bunch of observations in the what would you consider the normal range, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't think you could draw any conclusion from this data that where the brightness is going.
Yeah, it shows you how difficult astronomy is. Because there's so many factors that can affect your observations. But yeah, so if we look historically, we certainly have seen time periods where there were plenty of observations dimmer than 1.5, where we are now. So what would you suggest for Betelgeuse now?
I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary. I mean, even if it definitely has fluctuated in the past.
Okay.
You can see in this range it's gone down to 1.5 a whole lot of times, so it's in the stars range.
All right. What do you think?
And I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. But if we saw like 3 or something, maybe then you want to take a closer look. But keeping an eye on it, just getting more data is probably a good idea.
All right. Well, cool. This is a neat project and something that people are thinking about in the scientific community like right now.
Cool.
All right. Good job this morning, guys.